Greetings everyone, hello and welcome back to Anno 1800 once more. My Alamari, my royal galleon, beautiful as it is, has just arrived in the port of Helsing again with a lot of specialty items that we'll be able to use. Alamari is not going to stay idle though for too long because we also want to sell a few items that we can boost our balance with a bit. So I would like to take all of my advanced weapons that we have at this point. We're also probably going to take 100 tons of the steam motors. We could take 100 tons of the penny farthings, and let's make 200 tons of the jewelry and champagne. And with that, let's move it over here to RG to also sell some stuff again. Now, of course, there is the question, who is paying the most for these products here? I think Eli is actually also not such a bad deal. So let's actually send my Alamari over here to Eli. The advantage is that we can purchase more specialty items then right away, as my reroll will then reset again as well. Now, next up on the list, using those items, also we have the museum that we can still finish, right? So I can finish all of these 6 additional tiles for another 20 influence that we pay for this. So really, it's not a lot really. And then we can just have a nice, a nice area here in the center where we can enjoy their day. Probably a fountain or something like that. Once again, as always, it's not that easy putting things into the center of it. And then we probably can have another block here and also a block that goes down to this area. And then with perhaps some stands or something where people can, enjoy the day and eat something, drink something. So that is something that we can add here, like a pizzeria. Would like to have something like that, and probably also a drinks snack on the other side. And then in between we can have stuff like some benches where people can enjoy their day on, right? And then probably also some trees again here. Just a little community area before people go actually to the real interesting things, of course. And yeah, here we can add then more artifacts. I'm on my way right now with big steps to the next level here. So 200 we can easily achieve, right? That is no big deal. And let's actually also use now those items. For that, I would like to check out where we have a lot of investors or engineers around it. So this one here, for example. And here we could go ahead then with, for example, engineer and investor residence bonus income. And also, if they have the bank in their vicinity, they also have pocket watches and jewelry already filled. Let's just check out what this would do. So jewelry, we have a demand of 1, and pocket watches a bit more than 1 actually, right? And it definitely should switch it a bit. I'm not expecting big changes though, right? Oh, yeah, it's actually at 0 here now, and it's also at 0 here. So it definitely dropped below the 1 ton that we need for these goods here. And with that, having a bit more surplus there. At the same time, we can also increase their happiness by also reducing their workforce, though we don't need a lot of engineer workforce, so I really don't care about the penalty here. I really do care about, though, of the bonus that we have. Also, lots of engineers and investors over here, so this we can also then use, once again, with a happiness bonus at the cost of workforce. And also here, this one is pretty cool, increases the attractiveness of this area by 10 for each pub that we have in the surrounding area. So this we should probably have then down here, right? Because this gives me then a bit of an attractiveness booster as well for the pubs. All right, so far so good. Also used all the artifacts that we have right now. Let's also check out once again my Docklands, right? So we're still seeing at 11. The next trade is coming in soon. For this, I can prepare by building some more loading wharfs. The advantage, once again, is that for every one of these, we also get a bit of attractiveness out of again, and we speed up the trading then on top of everything else. Trading-wise, I think we're pretty much done with the Docklands. This is looking like a very stable economy to me now. We're getting in the pearls, even way more than what we really need, right? We're also exporting by far not above our capacity at this point. Some goods are actually going to cap. What I can see is that gold is probably something that we should push a bit further, because we're consuming gold now also from the jewelry. So this is something here. So that's a lot of sewing machines really that we export here now. But we're also producing a lot of sewing machines. So that should really also not be the major problem here. The schnapps is fine, right? And the wool is also then fine. Something we could still go with is the logs, increasing the capacity for this. Probably towards 2,000 logs, right? So this would be 170 windows only. That is still something we can afford, right? Because we make that surplus of 11, that's 220. So with that, we even have a surplus of windows left. We don't need that many windows anymore. And with that, we can probably, We consume to 1,400, 1,600 logs per cycle. It should be fine, really, right? With all of this. Do I have depots still? Probably here? No, I don't have any depots anymore. We might also just have a look at some of those depots then that we can also add to increase my storage a bit further. 1.6, that's around what we need per cycle, right? And with that, of course, I can get rid of these 2 logs. Let's not get rid of all of them, but of some of them, right? And with that, we have a bit more space, as always, that we can use. Is there a pub close by? There's a pub down here, but that's about it. So we'll still need to have another pub here, wasting some space again, of course. And then we can, yeah. Tricky. I definitely don't want to have people right next to the cliff, so there should be at least one road, right? So something like that. Very good. And here we're actually getting into the walking camp area of this one already again. So let's actually stay clear of it for a while. Let's move this one over. Right, and with that I have room for one more farmer then as well that we can have here. Just along the cliffs, really. As we keep expanding around the museum then as well, right? So where we definitely want to have some people also living. Let's check it out. What do we get out of it? 500,000, so 1.2 million. Actually, for the steam motors, I get more out. The steam motors we can produce in higher quantities. They're a bit less value per ton, but since we have a higher volume, this is really worth it. Penny things are worth us in comparison, right? Champagne is also worth us in comparison, and the jewelry is actually rather nice too. It's half the price of the steam motors. As a surplus trader or trade, it's really fine. And with that, yeah, we could go ahead with a few more special items that I can get out of it. Though at this point, I don't think we're going to need that many specialty items anymore. It's looking rather fun. There's also this one here. Income per house is increased and attractiveness. So let's actually take Caralis with us. And also old world residents, variety theater need is reduced to 0. That's worthless, but the 7% at 7 increase in happiness is nice, but there's better items for happiness bonuses, right? So overall, thank you Eli for this. We actually moved back home again immediately, and I would also like to use now some of those production items that we got. One of them is the soap factory boost that we have for 50% for the soap factories and the rendering work. So this is also massive. So not only do they get the Telemans tube now out, they also get the electricity. So I really don't need any boost here anymore. By the way, also we don't need... Not that there's really any penalty on these boosts, so let's actually don't care about that. And with that, yeah, it goes up to 250 productivity for the soap production. That's all nice and dandy. Then we can also have this one I've been looking forward to. Right, metal winning producer, and affects the vineyards by increasing the productivity by 40%. And on top of that, they produce extra champagne. How much extra champagne is it really? We're producing 8 tons per minute right now. And with that, we do get 9 tons, right? But it's a free ton, at least, that we have out of that. For us, and also the Johann the Inventor for the gramophone factory. The gramophone factory we have somewhere over here, as far as I remember. Actually, there he is at my soap industry. And with that, we can get Johann the Inventor. So that's 40% boost for the gramophone factory. On top of that, we only consume timber now. So that means I don't need that wood vineyard production anymore. Let's get rid of that and save the space and also the money on that with just one item. Also, the 40% increase makes it sure that we don't need to build any other gramophone factory anymore forever, basically. Another thing, there's another soap factory boost, right? Since we have it here, why not? It's not worth it for anything else. Just around the palace, really. Let's continue with some juicy upgrades. Oh, wait a second. Where's my... of course, they will not be electrified anymore, but that... or do we care about this? Could actually push more artisans in the district where we have electricity at least. Right, so somewhere around here. As many as possible still. And then probably also these guys. That's just one. This one here though. And then we're out of steel beams again. We'll also need to push this once more a bit. Even though we produce only 6 tons. Really, it's not much. I think we have paused one. Let's activate this one again. And then purchases a few more still. Weapon-wise, we can probably get completely rid of that. Nah, let's keep them. Just in case there's a big attack coming in. Arak, very good. Let's just see. Champagne was worthless, right? Steam Motors was not. And I might also take Wilma here with me. I mean, she's really good. Also for expeditions, potential one, but 250,000? Nah, let's not care about the money. She's super rare. Even if I don't want to do a lot of expeditions. Still worth it. Doesn't hurt. Let's upgrade a few more over here. 300 farmers. Also have a few upgrades here by the museum. Fantastic. As you notice, probably I'm playing at full speed almost all the time right now. Reason for that is we need a lot of money. And yeah, with that we get the money in, right? Because time just flies by faster. The thing is, of course, I could miss some things, but I don't think that we're missing a lot right now. As long as my productions are stable, as long as my demands are there, right? Except for coffee, of course, that we're importing. We have no chance here, really, other than building a New World colony, which I'm not going to do. We should be fine still. Oops, nope. Let's actually go for the steel beams here. And then we would have something like... let's just see. I would love the act that actually reduces the attractiveness penalty for the furnaces. This is one of those things that's really powerful. But of course, since we are at investor level, it gets rarer and rarer. Because it's usually a worker to artisan item that you have. Income per house increased by 30%, but their happiness is decreased. This is actually really nice, because we have a high happiness. You don't need to have a super high happiness, right? A +1 is already fine to me, and that means we get another 30% out of the investors that we have surrounding one of those trade unions. So that's super nice as well. There it is. Affects all ironworks and foundries. Productivity is reduced by 20%, but also the negative attractiveness penalty is reduced by 60%, right? So improving their attractiveness basically by 60%. That's something I would like to get. And happiness +12. That's also nice. Chance of rise is increased, but investors really don't ride that often. So this is something I can absolutely live with. So in this case here, we have a lot of rare items that give me super nice bonuses, right? Let's get these back home. Of course, doing the occasional reroll at Isabel just for that tiny chance that there might be another white flag pumping up, even though it's almost impossible. So let's not do it. So there's the sexy items. With that, we have the exquisite. We also have the +8 happiness here already, right? So we can definitely live with that. And this is boosting it by 10k actually for the 30% that we just got out of that. Over here would be also nice. So where we have lots of those residences then basically. Yeah, also let's use the last slot here really for income per house. Yeah, on the income per house, right? And make sure that we upgrade then a few more of these. By the way, there's almost no investors over there. So let's actually take this one and get the investor item here. This is a bigger boost than overall. All right, also the foundry. There we have our foundries. And with that, we have the ironworks, negative attractiveness 60%. And this is giving me a nice juicy booster as well towards the next step of it, right? Reducing the productivity overall by 20%. So let's just build another foundry there right away with only a -2 really. And counter that immediately. Could also actually just have for us Al-Zarami here. It's also nice. Let's actually get this guy going as well. And that's also accounting then my advanced weapons. So we produce more of them. And don't forget, they're a real moneymaker here. So I would definitely like to have it. Alright. I think that's it for now, Alameri. We might actually send Alameri on a mission. Pirate hunt, rescue mission, level 2 would provide potentially the plantains. Let's do one of these. It's been a long time since I've done any active expeditions, really. We can use Wilma here for that massive boost in morale, right? We have the white flag too for a bit of diplomacy. We need to keep that active though, right? Then medicine and rations is the schnapps. And I think that's it. I'm just going to go with some weapons there, because sometimes you actually do need them for special events. Why can I not choose weapons? There they are, right? Really want to get that morale up there somehow. Do we have beer? We have lots of beer. Very nice. Let's start the expedition. We still have 3 slots available for any potential rewards coming out of that. And then, of course, there's the final reward for the mission itself. Off you go. Let's hope we're not losing it. It's the only white flag that I have. It's risky. But then again, no risk, no fun, really. Alright, 2,000 workers. I would like to upgrade a lot of them. Here especially. Right, so the whole palace area is now basically a lot of artisans. And then probably also here, there's still some tiny upgrades. Very good. And more engineers than over here as well. 130,000 on the income sounds nice to me. We could also go ahead now and finally add some ornaments, right? To beautify some courtyards here and there. Just those tiny details. We don't have a lot of courtyards, so there's another one. Also adds a bit of attractiveness, of course. And then, of course, trees especially do add attractiveness. Not a lot, but it adds up over time. We continue onwards by beautifying. That means more upgraded roads. We have lots of bricks at this point, so I really don't need to save on that. Especially also in the industry zone. And I can basically just go ahead like this. And this would cost me 190 tons, right? And that's almost all of the roads now, I guess. Up here in the pig area, we still have those. Right. Those pig farms, by the way, each also net up to -3 on the happiness. So this might also be an interesting thing to get rid of. It's only 120 tons of pigs that we need per minute. Right. So that's 1,200. Yeah. Per cycle, really. And in this case, might be something to take care of. But we would need to upgrade a few more items before that. Where's Champagne sitting at, by the way? Oh, yeah, Champagne is actually going to be my next candidate for tier 4. The Windows is also moving towards tier 3, so we are definitely able there to get a few more trade contracts out, right? So that's 200 tons that we get here. And then, do we have something in high volume that we don't need, really? It would be pigs, right? I mean, with just one export, 1,000 pigs, we could get pigs to level 4 right away in an instant. That is worth considering. We have so many hops that, yeah, let's actually do this. Just for once, let's use the pigs. Let's use 1,000 pigs. Yep. Right, for a bit of hops. And with that, we'll instantly upgrade pigs there to the next level. Sounds nice. It's just really about the contract rights, right? So, Tobias is coming in right now. And then we're switching it back to soap again right away afterwards. And can we do this with any other good? Clay we could upgrade. Don't forget, it's not about using them long-term wise for export. It's just for pushing them to tier 4 together with the champagne, right? I could actually go with, yeah, let's make it here. Even though we are. Oh, not really. Also here, just 1,100 for a few pearls, right? So that's 2 products we can instantly upgrade together with the champagne. I think we're not getting a new contract out of this because we already had 3 products in here at once. So we still need to wait until we have the full 4 of them plus a tier 3 one. Alright, you are not going to purchase back one of those shares, Miss Hunty. And there he is coming in. There you go, with upgraded. And yeah, I'm not getting another export out of that yet, right? So we still need to wait on that. The windows need to upgrade once, and the champagne also needs to get to that next level, which is going to be the next cycle then. These 2 are fine now, so let's actually switch back. So here we had the sewing machines, right? Not for that amount. And here we had the soap, right? For not that much. I think it was around 400. That would also be fine already. It's way too much anyway. We're purely exporting for the sake of exporting at this point some of those goods. Alright, expedition. Yeah, I'm not going to read through the texts. Sorry, I've done these quite a lot, right? And we don't have anything for this event. Find a more rational explanation. Yeah, lots of morale boost. It's really a 50-50 chance there. If you don't have the right items. Probably should have brought some bread for the faith bonus out of that. Once again, we can also upgrade. We have actually not that many farmers anymore, but these guys here at least, right? And then I still have some more workers and especially also some more artisans that I would like to upgrade. And there is then also workers here, workers here. Where should we have more upgrades from the workers? This is looking nasty. We have a firefighter close by. Can still squeeze one in here just comfortably. These guys here for sure. Then we actually lack the planks, so I need to wait on planks there a bit. Closing in on 25,000 there right now. And yeah, just waiting on this expedition now. A bit more money to roll in. And then we're probably going to wrap up this series, should we? Yeah, we'll see. With a big bang. Stay tuned.